What I want to cover today is real quick. I'm going to share. So when we started talking about past client business and past client referrals, um, Dina, I reached out to Dina to see what the deal was. And so let me pull up Salesforce. I'm going to show you a report that we have, that you have access to now, that you may have known about, but I don't think so because I know we don't talk about these things very much. So the report is, come on, let's see, year to date and last 2 years by account source or repeat clients funded. Let me just make sure I got that year to date with account source. That's the one I want. This year to date with account source, year to date and last 2 years by account source. So write that down. And what you'll see, now I get the whole company. You won't get the whole company. I don't think you'll get the whole company. I think you'll just get yours. But if you look, so this is Casey calendar year 2024. And you can see that this is the account source. The account source is you didn't put one in. And then this is past client. And then this is realtor referral, personal sphere. And then it goes back to 22. Again, you have this many that you didn't put the account source in. So for your, that's the first message to all of you is be as thorough with your database tracking as you possibly can be so that you have the best data. You have to know your numbers to grow your numbers, common theme in any sales business. And so just knowing, and I'm sure you do know where Elizabeth Ox came from, or Elizabeth Ock. Well, I'm sure you do know, you just didn't say it. And the point of this is so that you have that tracking data for yourself. So just remember year to date and last 2 years by account source. You can go further if you want to. I don't know that you'd really be a lot of value in like going back that far, but just to be able to see that data. Okay. So it's got your client. And then here's the thing. There's a bunch of ways that you could call somebody a past client referral. This is client referral. And I don't know, Casey, if for you, Amber Stacy was referred by another client or if she referred herself, and that's like a repeat deal.
She was referred by another client.
Okay. So client referral is a
client.
So client referral for Casey anyway is client referral. I think there's also a past client referral option. Pick client referral. Client referral seems to me the most universal, like, yeah, it's a client referral. So it's a referral from a past client. And then there is going to be a way for us to have the repeat where it's going to be a repeat client. So it's a repeat deal so that you'll be able to track that individually. But if you just pull up year to date and last 2 years by account source, you'll be able to see. And I just had her pull it up by that so that you could see. So that the idea was like, how much business are you getting from past client referrals? Right? That was really the point. And so then they built the report that way. So you can see the number, and then it doesn't tell you who, but you can add that as a column if you wanted to know who, because your clients that have referred you more than once are your best. Those are or referred you once. Any client that's referred you once is an A+ client, right? So you got to take really good care of them. So there's a report for you. I want to talk about, I also want to talk about this report that I don't know if everybody has seen this before. This is a report that I think Giuseppe had, or Ryan. I'm not sure if it was a Giuseppe report first or if it was a Ryan report first.
It was G. I took it from G.
Okay. This is something that you should be doing anyway. So it's, if you're not doing this, I'm going to send this out. This is where your realtors' names go. And this field copies over whatever you type in here. It's going to type in there. So you can see that equals the deal here. And you just keep track of your leads by the name of the realtor. And the reason this is important, I added something that you don't have on there, Ryan, is I added a closing ratio, which is simple enough to program, just so that you can see like how many leads. I get 10 leads and I only close one, I got a 10% closing ratio with that realtor. But if I have another realtor who refers me 5 and I close 4, I got an 80% closing ratio with that realtor. I'm going to focus on the 5 with the 4. right? More than I am the 10 with the 1, right? Like I want to work with the 80% conversion ratio realtor. And then you've got other categories here. You can do whatever you want with this. I mean, current client referrals, but you don't have to list all the names, repeat client, past client, branch, social, personal, other. So I'm going to send this to everybody as well. I added another one just for fun where you have leads, pre-approvals, writtens, and the lead to close ratio. The lead to close ratio is down here. Lead to close loan ratio is down here, but you can see it on here. You could see it. I'm not sure how are you doing that, Ryan? You're doing this for the whole, yeah, you're doing it for the whole year. So you just see the whole year's number.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately it just updates obviously as you go month by month, right? So
Okay. So this one would give you a monthly ratio.
yeah,
That's the difference
makes
over here.
sense.
So if you just put in your totals, number of pre-approvals, you can add, if anybody wants any help, if you want to add, if you don't know how to create, if you don't know how to write that formula, let me know. Happy to show you. You can insert this. If you wanted to know leads to pre-approvals written, you wanted to know that ratio. You want to know apps to closings ratio. But I did leads to pre-approvals percentage, leads to apps percentage, just good numbers to know, right? And if you had fallout, you could, this would be one that I would do. I know that something that Christine does is that she has a fallout tracker where she keeps track of, if I didn't get the deal, what was the reason I didn't get the deal? And one of the things that she really improved on from 2022 to 2023 was the number of deals that she lost based on price. Her ratio went down dramatically and she was more focused on a quality. I'm not sure exactly what she focused on, but she focused on not losing the deal to price. And she did about the same volume last year she did the year before, which is saying something because most people were down a lot more last year than they were from 22. So I'll send a copy of this one out to everybody as well. SnapDocs. The reason I'm bringing it up is that there was a chatter thing that came out from corporate about how a lot of the loan officers because they're not offering this as an option. They're just doing it on all the loans that it's eligible to be done on. They're still testing government and you can't do buy downs yet, but all the conventional, it looks like all the conventional, and I think high balance and perhaps jumbo, I'm not 100% sure on that, and the customers are really enjoying it. So I know that the other system that we used was clunky and there's no cost to us to do this. I would think that my customer would really love this if I was closing a deal, but I get why you don't want to maybe try it if you're worried about it being a clunky, not very smooth experience. And I asked Ryan about it yesterday. He goes, yeah, I'm not going to be the crash test dummy for that. Let somebody else do it first. And I get it because you don't want to have a bad transaction, leave a bad taste in your mouth at the end of it. But again, what I saw with that post that came out was that everybody really liked it and everybody really enjoyed it. Jack, what's up?
So I've got a mail out closing here in a couple of weeks. And so I volunteered as tribute to try it out because I figured that would make it a lot easier for that client from the mail out perspective.
Okay.
So I'll report back on that one.
All right. Thank you.
Ooh, good call. That's actually a great place to start doing them. That way
That's
they're
kind of
not.
what I figured.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I did a couple, whatever we called them, not SnapDocs, whatever it was before, just e-closing.
Uh-huh.
I did one last year. It was through FlowFi and totally fine.
It's just you have to make sure that they don't start signing docs like prior to closing day, right? So they'll send them out the night before and then you just tell them you have to sign them.
Yeah, I don't even think they
Morning
can.
of.
I think
Oh, really?
there was a thing where they could review it and then they sign the next day.
How
Then
much of the
then they can
closing
click.
package? do
I
they
think
get
it's
to
nice
sign?
because some realtors hate sitting at a closing for an hour and a half.
Right.
I've brought up to realtors, they're like, that'd be awesome. I'm like, okay,
I feel like
just go in
closings have
there,
been
get your
going.
keys, bring your check, sign like 5 documents, and you're
Yeah.
out.
That's fair. They've been going pretty quickly though, now that we don't have funding conditions for most. That's been nice.
I would absolutely do it for refis too. I
Oh,
know
for
refis
sure.
are easy, but this makes it even easier.
Cool. Well, right on. Like I said, it doesn't cost any more money to use SnapDocs than what we're already paying. We're not paying because we use Encompass closing docs. But anyway, so there you go. There was an announcement on the last thing I'm going to cover. There was an announcement on a call January 17th about a new program that Chase has. Did anybody listen to that or do any research on this? Okay. So I'm going to send you a link to the call. This came up because, well, first I'd heard about it. Giuseppe was asking about it from corporate, wanting to know if we had access to it. And it's 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 like it's almost like a low to moderate income track type program, but it's not just low to moderate income tracking. It is kind of that, but Chase has it. And there's some unique features about it that you can use. And it's some of the data that I had John doing some research for me on it. Here's what he shared with me. He said that it was, I'm going to send you the link so you can watch it. Start watching the call at minute 19, and I'll put that in the email so you don't have to watch the whole beginning of the call. So it's non-delegated underwriting. So we're still underwriting the file, but then Chase has to also approve it. We're still underwriting it though. So they still have to approve it. Primary residence only. You can layer a home ready, home possible, but only helps if you have a non-Chaffetz community second, which we don't do in Denver. Oh, that's not. So that maybe this isn't any home in the yellow area. So it's like a mapping function. Watch the video, you'll see it, and then you'll get a link to the link that Chase has to see where it is. And it just applies to the listings that are in those zones. And it could be a pretty good incentive. LLPA waivers go away. Any homes there in the home show up at the interface of the MLS, but any home there for LLPAs. Waivers also apply to high balance. So they waive the LLPAs. Let's see.
I'm a little confused. What's the program? Is it just like a basis point credit or what?
Yeah, it's just an improved pricing program. And
Okay.
according to Karen, 3/8 to a half in rate better in price.
I wonder if someone could just like
Watch the
check
video. It's
that
really
versus
short.
Huntington and see if it makes, and like see if it's even worth going down that.
Watch the video and check it out. Watch the video and check it out first. Like, because it's the guy does a presentation that only takes about 5 minutes. You're not going to have to spend a lot of time on the presentation. And then you can check it out, and Jonathan, this could be something valuable for you. You could call real estate agents that have listings in those mapped areas. There's a bunch of homes in the Colorado Springs area. You'd have to like get into the mapping and take a look at it. I'm just not a big fan of the VIP calls. And so we don't make a habit of trying to listen to them. Ashley's supposed to stay on top of those and let us know when there's something of value, but I think she's behind. And so that's the reason that we haven't seen it, and nobody talked about it, but it wasn't. So I had a conversation with Karen about it yesterday, and I was like, this looks like it might be worth doing. The program, apparently the mapping program is a little buggy. You've got to plug in income to show the way. So but mess around with it, because it could be a valuable enough program that you could offer somebody a significant price. This is going to be one of those things where anybody could do this loan that's approved with Chase if they just knew how to do it, and could be a big difference maker for you. So check it out. Okay. I'll send it out. Maybe watch it this weekend. And then anything that you guys learn by checking it out, let me know and share it with everybody. Okay. That's all I got for today. Does anybody have anything they want to add? Nope. Right on. This is fun. And I really appreciate everybody's participation in this. It's fun because we're getting ready. We're doing a thing at 10:30 today with a few LOs where we're doing some scripting, role-playing training on, cold calling real estate agents. And I think I've talked about this with like a half a dozen people this week. Not here at Zenith, but around the country, people and I say this all the time, is like, mortgage companies don't really do sales training with their loan officers. They're like, nope, they really don't. We don't teach you how to be good at this, get on the phone, make the calls and stuff. And I want to change that for us. And it's the focus of what I'm doing with the recruiting platform going forward. So I'm only going to be looking for loan officers that want to close a minimum of 60 loans a year at the minimum. If that's not your target, then we're not a good fit. And want to do more than that, because I will show you what you have to do. I know exactly what you have to do to get there. And then you'll evolve after that. But I'm super excited, super stoked about it. So thanks a lot for the participation in this. Thanks a lot for all the sharing that you guys do. It means a lot. And I love that part of the culture. So thanks, everyone. Have a great Friday. We'll see you on the call at noon.